It is time for you to know what happened 1,000 years ago. Oh, it was a chilly winter. I remember. I went on to that island, that cursed island, that place where nothing lives. I walked into the cave and there she was, standing in the middle of her lair. You! I have finally found you. You took everything from me.
Let me taste your flesh.
You destroyed my world. This took me a lot of time, like literally. Like I was doing this for like 2 weeks. I don't know, more than 2 weeks probably. And the reason that it took me so much time was not because it is an animation or it is a big drawing. The reason behind that was that I was live streaming this every day. I wanted to live stream the whole process, like literally every day. That is why it took me the most amount of time, and I was like doing other videos in between. Okay, and I was also doing some other stuff which I forgot. I didn't remember. Anyways, now that this is all done, this is probably gonna be the first look at my new story or at my new anime. And that's a big probably. Like, I don't even know if I will continue this story. Okay, I don't even know if I will continue this IP or go forward with this IP. Okay, but you already have the first look. Anyway, let's get on with how I made this animation or a drawing or a painting or whatever the freak that I made. So, as usual, it all began with a concept. A concept is the most important thing. I cannot stress it enough. The concept, without the concept, there is nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can't really do anything without the concept, without the idea that is in your head. Okay, so that day when I started this was Noel's birthday, and I wanted to do a Noel drawing, but I did this concept and I didn't like it. Okay, I did this one as well. I didn't like it. This was a cool one, but I don't know. I did not finish it for some reason. I don't know. So Noel was unfortunately scrapped, but I'm gonna get back to Noel soon. Then after that, Sin on my Discord. So she's an awesome artist, and you should definitely join my Discord and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. Please subscribe. Help me reach 1,000. And then after 1 million. So she suggested me a Naruto drawing idea, which was really cool. Okay, which like she suggested me that Naruto is in the hot spring with the frogs. Okay, and it was like really cool. So I drew this and also a different perspective of the same drawing, and I really like this one. So I almost decided that I will do this Naruto drawing, but then I didn't. And then I was like, alright, so what if I did an original drawing with my original characters of my own story and IP? Okay, so I tried this one first, but the perspective and all didn't click too much. Okay, then I tried a different perspective, like the samurai warrior, which is my main character in the story, is facing the woman, the snake lady. Okay, and the light is coming from over here, and this is the entrance of her lair, and the light is shining from behind him. Okay, illuminating both of them also, right? So that was a very cool idea. So I decided, instead of doing the Naruto painting, which I like this idea and I'm gonna go forward with this maybe someday, I don't know. But instead of doing this, I decided to do this because this was something different, this was something new. Okay, and then I just moved forward with it. So the next thing that came was the rough color pass. Okay, so I played with some of the colors. I really like this Naruto color scheme. Okay, this is just a split complementary color scheme. All right, and this is also a split complementary color scheme, so I really liked this one also. I did some color schemes of the Noel also, but I didn't like them too much. Okay, the color and lighting, I like this one. So, but the problem with this one was I had the designs for the characters, okay, but I didn't have any designs or any idea for the background. Okay, so that was my next step, is to design the background, design the environment around them, around the characters. Okay, because without it, even if they're in darkness, you have to show some part of the environment to make it believable. So this is the concept of her lair, the woman's lair. And then once this was ready, I gave it a rough color pass, gave it a flat color pass, so that I know what colors is it made up of. So these pillars are white, the snake is also white. Okay, some of the pillars are fallen and broken, and this central pillar is also white where she is standing over here, and these are broken. Okay, these are also white colored steps, footsteps or something, and this is a poisonous liquid or something, I don't know, which she drinks or tries on. It is poisonous to other people. That's it. That was color scheme and the design. And this is inside an area called as the Death Island. So this thing right over here, it is inside of this. Okay, once this design was laid in, this design was ready, this concept was ready, I started with a rough sketch, just playing with all of these elements, like where to place them, all right, and where to put all of these elements in relation to the character and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and adding details like these, all right, all of these details, and making the bridge broken and stuff like that. All right, so this is the rough ideation. And after the rough sketch, I decided to draw the perspective grids and the composition. So this is of course a 3-point bird's eye view perspective. Okay, and the composition that I set in for this scene in particular is a very different one. It is something that I wanted to try. All right, so this is a spiral composition. Okay, this is like everything is merging in the center. This entrance is leading towards the character. This bridge is also leading towards the character. This fallen pillar is also leading towards the character. Then this pillar is also leading towards the character. All right, and then this whole thing, this well is also leading towards the character. Not only these things are leading towards the character, but this woman is also leading towards the character. Okay, so this is a spiral composition, which is pretty cool in my opinion. This is like, I wanted to try this since like forever, so I'm glad that I tried in this one. And I of course didn't put the character like in the dead center. Okay, I have offset the character just to make it feel more aesthetically pleasing. Once it was all ideated, once it was all set in, I moved on to the face sketch. First, the background, as usual, because the background will set the characters in the scene. Okay, then the main character, and finally we have the enemy character, which is this woman. So it was pretty difficult to actually pose her and design her, because she's literally like a snake, and I literally had to think about how she will move around the environment, around this main character, around the environment like a snake. All right, so this is what I came up with. After the sketch comes the color. Okay, first and foremost, the background color, because that always sets the mood, that always sets the lighting of the scene. Okay, so this has to go first, always. First, I started with the flats, which I absolutely hate doing the flats. Okay, and then I just kept on rendering more and more stuff. Okay, so the initial color scheme was like violet and red, so it was a complementary color scheme, right? But after that, I added this magenta, this light magenta, making it an analogous color scheme, because this light magenta will pop in between the red and the violet. Just a subtle hint of magenta. Like, look at this. Okay, these are the people who are being imprisoned by the woman, and in the jail cells there is this magenta like lighting. All right, so which looks really cool in my opinion. So this thing really popped up the illustration, and I always like most of my illustrations are like in 3 colors. All right, so this was like perfect. Now, after the background came in the color of the characters, and as usual, I started with the flats, which I absolutely hate. I wish there was a method to skip the flats, or maybe I'll have to find the method. So I colored the characters, rendered their materials, like this is metal. Alright, so she has all of these metal parts. Okay, some of these wires I colored directly, which I didn't do. Okay, and then his sword, then all of these things. Alright, I colored the characters, rendered their materials, and added this sword slash, which is his power, which I personally call as his reflection, which is his inner self, which comes out and helps him defeat his enemies, helps him fight his enemies. All right, so this is like kind of like a power, but not actually a power. It's like his inner self. Like, we all have the inner self, which is like helping us live in this world. So yeah, this is something like that, and it takes physical form. So that is pretty cool in my opinion. And then did some more painting, like the patterns on his cloak. All right, and some scratches on her body, because this is not metal, this is just simple, I don't know, cloth or something. And the drawing was finished, was absolutely done. But was it? Because we still had the animation. And as a matter of fact, before drawing all this, before painting all this, I did this cool animatic first and foremost, because that set the tone for the final drawing. Okay, because my goal for this painting or for this illustration was to do an animation, make it an animated painting. All right, so this is the animatic that I did, but this did not turn out too well. I made a lot of mistakes I wish I didn't had made. Like, for example, like this is the first frame, this is the original painting. Okay, and then for this frame and this frame, like I just cut all the body parts and just morph them and move them, okay, around. I did not draw these 2 frames. Okay, I just cut the original parts from the original painting, and I just moved them around. Okay, it still looks good, don't get me wrong, it still looks good. Like, some of the parts I have to redraw, like for example this cloak over here. Okay, it still looks good, but it could have been much better if I had redrawn all of these 3 frames. Okay, but I drew the previous 20 frames, like all of them, and colored all of them. Okay, the color is not up to par of this final painting or final drawing, but I still colored them, I still drew each and every one of them. Okay, the drawing is somewhat like not as professional as an original anime, but still it works. So this is the animation. I just wish that I would have planned this better. Like I would have spent more time like concepting the animation, all right, like doing like 2-3 animatics, all right. So this is good, don't get me wrong, but it could have been much better, all right. So yeah, anyways, whatever, man. I just like this is like my first concept animation, all right. This is like the previous ones were like, the previous Naruto one was just a copy of an existing animated short from the anime, all right. So this is like my first ever animation that I made myself, so I can give it a pass. But the next one is gonna be epic. I'm gonna make the next one awesome, and I promise you that, all right. And that's it. And I like this stuff, all right. I never wanted to be an animator. I still do not want to be an animator, okay. But I like my characters to move. I like to see my characters move, okay. I want to see my characters move and interact with each other, right. So that is why I'm animating now. And as usual, as I said before, I don't know if I will continue this story. I don't know if I will make an anime or something. I don't really know, or a short film. I don't really know. All right. So whatever. I'm just shooting at the stars. Okay, just daydreaming and stuff. All right. Anyways, that's it for the video. I hope you liked it, and please subscribe. Help me reach 1,000 subscribers. We are so close, and then after 1 million. And also join the Discord as usual. We are a growing community and we have so many cool people over there. Let's create a very cool community. Right? Until next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye.